Okay, so my pen's holding up pretty well. Now I'm going to be explaining where meditation OS fits in your framework for working in your unparenting and then lightning meditation. So I developed systems for working on myself. I got into this 30 years ago because there's so much mental illness and pain in my family, so much deep trauma and conditioning, and it was very difficult for me I wasn't happy, and I couldn't understand why everything was so painful, why I was so unable to be happy. I had an amazing job, I had everything I thought, status, acknowledgement, achievement, and I was deeply lost and unhappy. And so that sent me on the journey that I undertook to find out why and how to be able to resolve it. I talk about that in my book, Decentralized Mind, which is hopefully published now by the time you listen to this. So to summarize what I've learned from those 30 years is there's meditation OS, there's lightning meditation, and then there's, what would I call this, like maybe lifestyle. So I'll go down in order. So this top triangle, so of the least important, but it's still important, is things like getting outside in the sun, in nature, in the light. The light gives us a lot. So there's external energy. We get external energy from our food, movement, light, food, supplements, happiness, enjoyment. These things, supplements, not so much, but they can be useful. But having, eating real food, you get energy from outside. Exercising gives you energy. Getting outside works on your mitochondria. Infrared light is deeply healing, and that the electron transport system is being energized from the outside. So lifestyle is super important. Eat, move, and be healthy. But most people go here to try and resolve their problems. But there's two layers underneath this. So lightning meditation is what I'm going to give as a free course for the free membership. And it's based on ones and zeros. So I learned that through, many years ago, when I was at Chelsea Football Club, I started to realize that when I was doing very complex measurements of athletes with the weight shift and plumb line and everything, I had this very complex posturology assessment where I was looking at the eyes, the teeth, the ears, scars on the body, skin, leg length, first rib, all these type of physical problems, and I would manipulate them using different techniques to get perfect balance. And what I came to realize that I could get the athlete to think of a positive thought and they would balance out a negative thought and they would go back to being out of balance. And so this was a very long time ago, but I went on this search for what happened when they thought about the positive. So it strengthened them, is what I've come to understand, and the negative thought weakened them. So there's a 1 and 0. And so what I came to understand, that all symptoms in the body, physical pain, emotional pain, can be resolved on the spot by working with lightning meditation. It is like you have your computer, everyone has a computer, and you have pop-ups. It starts to run slowly, you get symptoms. But if you're not closing your web browsers and you're not emptying your cache, and you're not emptying your trash, you're not clearing out your emails, and you're not closing pop-ups, very quickly your computer becomes horrible to use. But all it takes is instant, like click, empty, everything is externally very fast to work with on your computer. This lightning meditation, you learn to work with yourself like a computer. It's exactly the same. You delete things, you clear things on the spot. And I am going to give the first week away for free, which shows you how to do that. Why is that of use? Well, let's say you have a thought like, let's say I have a thought like, I'm worrying about Lima doing something, or I'm worried about something. So the thought in my head is, oh, I'm worried that Lima feels insecure. Okay, so I can write that down and keep it in my head, or write it on a piece of paper. And the emotion is worry, and let's say it's 9 out of 10. What I do then is I use a map, which I explain how to use, and use the 1 and 0 to go through it to find the primary weakness. What is the primary thing weakening? And then I find it, I strengthen it, which I explain how to do. And then you come back to the thought, and the thought will have, the worry will either completely disappeared, or it's gone down to a 1 out of 2. And I explain, maybe not in the first week, but to be able to get it down from 9 to a 1 is life-changing. So you could be lying in bed, worrying about something, and you just delete it on the spot. I've been doing that for over 15 years for people. I've done it so many times I've lost count. The results are absolutely extraordinary. You can clear anything bothering you, both mentally or physically, pretty much on the spot. Unless your bone's sticking out of your arm, you know, then something's gone for so long that it's broken the bone, and then you're going to have to go to a hospital, of course. So lightning meditation, I think that's important because you can also work on your children. You know, if something's up with them, you can clear it. Just off the top of my head, I've worked with thousands of kids resolving things, from incredible life-saving treatments to just one top of my head. There was a lady whose child had severe constipation, so would probably wait 10 days. So I worked on the child through the mother. The child wasn't even there. That's where it gets a little bit strange, but it's up to, you don't have to believe me, you just try it yourself. And found the primary weaknesses. And then that child that evening went to the toilet and the constipation was gone, never came back. And you know, anyway, I'm not here to tell you, you can play around with it because you're your own authority. But I've used that and I still use it, and people from, you know, very, you know, billionaires pay me to be on a retainer to work on their computers for them. So works on all the symptoms, but getting to the gold or the Bitcoin base layers. This is lightning layer 2, base layer, slow and secure. This is where all of human conditioning is. And this is where you as a parent will unparent yourself. And so that you free yourself from this old imprisoning, limiting conditioning, so your children flourish and are free. It is that simple, although with everything, there's complexity to it, and it takes proof of work to work down here. So that's why I say, in this group, you have to take responsibility and be absolutely driven by the truth. You know, the truth will set you free. Shine light into darkness, instantly changes it. This is a search for truth, to be able to see your own conditioning in your children's behavior and to dissolve it. When your kids, they are your spiritual teachers. They're the ones that will trigger you the most because they have all of our conditioning in them. It's already in there from a very early age. So we free ourselves, and then in doing that, we free them. And this is the most important work I can do for my children. I'm deeply, it's not driven, it's just, there's a deep understanding that I spend all my day, one, doing it for others, helping others with this, but for myself, taking responsibility so that my children can be free. And when I see something in society that I don't like, I take full responsibility for it and look for it in me. It's a blockchain. Humans are all on the same blockchain. They have all the same conditioning. When you point your finger, there's always 3 pointing back at you. I take full responsibility for all the greed, the horrors in the world, and the abuse and the hatred. I observe and then observe that in myself to dissolve it. And I take full responsibility for unparenting myself, for my children. It's the most important thing. And that's why I did this course, because it's so important. I want everyone to be doing it. My hope is that with a place to be and this unparenting, we can make a real change in the world. But also I watch my behavior about that, because the more I want others to be able, the more I will make them unable. But I'm watching my own behavior. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. In this group, we're going to keep it to, you can do lighting meditation if you want, but this is the gold, and this is what is fundamentally the truth, is meditation. Meditation, though, is not all the spiritual fancy beliefs and concepts. No, the meditation on this is simple. Understanding self. You don't need any books. You don't need anyone else to try and help you with this. I'm good at finding people's patterns, but you don't need me. You just need to watch and observe your behavior. You are your own authority. I can't state it enough. Bitcoin helps us to become self-sovereign, and it's the orange pill to this. This is what makes us really sovereign, is being able to observe our behavior, clear all the tyranny and conditioning from the past, so that we can experience life peacefully and fully. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this. It's the start of a journey, because I'm on it, and it will be for the rest of my life, and it's wonderful. The results are, it's up to you to find them, but you walk through that door and everything changes. So enjoy, and any questions, as I said, just DM me and get in touch, or post under the video. And if you found this useful, you maybe tell other parents who you think could benefit from it. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.